Well, that's a few years back, because I started the second world run the 1st of July 2008,
Yeah.
and then running 1 year through Europe, the Middle East, and then through Africa, entering through the Sinai Desert, and then through Egypt, Sudan, Ethiopia, what was that, Kenya, Tanzania, Mozambique, and then to South Africa, to Cape Town. And from there to Punta Arenas in Chile, in South America, then running last year up through South America to Colombia, and then arriving, what is that, about 3 weeks ago in Key West, and then running Key West up in A1A. So,
How long have you been away from home?
that's about 3.5 years.
Wow.
So,
And you've been running all this time?
yeah, I mean, I take, once a month I take a rest day to rest the legs off. So, and then every once in a while there are, I mean, especially in Africa, but places in South America also, sometimes I need an extension of the visa because it takes a long time running. And then I get 1, 2, 3, 4 rest days while I'm waiting for the visa to get through. But else it's running forward every day. So mostly it's a sporting challenge, but besides that, it's a way to experience the different cultures and nature instead of seeing them on TV where you get kind of snapshots, or even if I travel as a tourist, then I would see the highlights. But when I do a run like this, I get more feeling of how is life straight across these countries, which also because I have a background in political science. I have a master's degree from Copenhagen University, and for me there's a very thrilling but very, very big difference from how we understand different cultures and politics from what we would say from the high level, from top down, and how they appear when you're running through these cultures and areas. And for me, especially in the first world run, I was amazed how much more peaceful the world is when you actually meet people compared to when we studied at, for instance, at university. We assume that each, at least cultural area, are in conflict with the others, and you have conflicts of interest, and that might be true maybe on a top level, but when you meet people person to person, whether it's the Middle East or Africa, South America or here, there's no problems. So for me that's a very positive thing, and it was very thought-provoking after the first run. So that's why I'm doing these runs mainly.
What was maybe the best moment you've had?
I would say one of the very best moments was when I was running into Sahara Desert, and I was very concerned because that was my main concern when planning this, because of course it's a very huge desert. It takes about 1.5 months, and the temperature is high. No matter what time you run through there, you can't escape the heat, because it gets, when I was running there, it was still fairly cool, but it's in Celsius 51 to 53 degrees.
Oh wow.
Which is, I think, 130.
That's 120, 130 something like that, yeah.
So I was very concerned how is this going to work. I had a local driver that spoke only Arab. Mohammed, that was driving my support car while I was running, and I thought this is going to be very difficult for 1.5 months. Anyways, just entering, I reached a small oasis.
Yeah.
And I was concerned also, you know, they might not like some Western person running through the areas. And I'll tell you, I've seldom met as friendly people as those there. They stopped me, they insisted I was not going to run further before I sat down with them and eat as much as I could and drink as much as I could and make sure that I was fully loaded up with energy and water before they let me continue. That was very positive. That was my main experience from that place. So.
Have local dignitaries attempted to make your acquaintance, or have you met kings or queens or anything like that on this trip?
Well, when I was running, one example, when I was running in Swaziland, which is one of the smallest remaining kingdoms. It's a small country that sits between Mozambique and South Africa. There, when I was running, they had some traditional dance because the harvest begins.
Yeah.
And there, the king was running with me for 2 kilometers. It was very short. He was a little bit big set, but, but he was running, you know, it's not like in Europe where a king might wear a suit or something. He was wearing, what's it called, you know, like a scarf of some sort, tiger skin or what have you. Yeah. That was pretty much all, the necklace, and he ran for a few kilometers. So
that's pretty cool.
That was funny. Yeah. So not in terribly good shape, but he kept on. And I'll tell you one huge difference that I still appreciate every day. See, now last night I stayed at KG's, a local runner from here, which though comes from Sweden. Yeah. But when I'm staying locally or staying at motels, I still haven't got used to that. When you flip the switch, there's electricity. When you turn on the water, that it doesn't just say some kind of sound and nothing happens. That it's a huge luxury that I think we forget to appreciate in the Western world, that a lot of conveniences are there and they don't break down every once in a while. running 1 year through South America,
South
America, and Africa, you get simply after a while you get used to that. You don't expect the light to go on when you flip the switch, and you find out usually that there's water in this region Thursday and Fridays. The other days you can't have a shower, and it's a huge difference.